Alright, quick update on Enjin coin. So a lot of these altcoins are having bounces today. Bitcoin has managed to move up 1%. If we zoom out to the 4-hourly, you can see yesterday we got a nasty rejection from the top of this triangle, and now we're moving up a tiny bit. You can see a lot of hype has returned back into the altcoin market, and not necessarily an Enjin's up 4%. I'm not saying that's like hype or out of this world or anything, but a lot of these altcoins are up 23, 16%. I saw some earlier that were up 20 and 25%. Let's see if they're still there. I mean, yeah, FTM is still up 25, JASMY's up 16. So a lot of altcoins are getting very euphoric right now. The general markets being the dollar and the stock market, dollar's still bullish, which means the stock market and Bitcoin is bearish. And unfortunately, at this moment in time, I really don't see anything special with the bounces that we're having in the altcoin markets. Look at the volume that we're getting in on Bitcoin right now. We are not getting any sort of volume confirmed breakout, and we are below the 4-hourly EMA. So I'm not saying the Enjin is going to be bearish forever. In fact, I'm saying the complete opposite. I do think Enjin is going to break out and it's going to perform very well once the markets get bullish. But at this moment in time, you zoom out, you can't be telling me that the price on Enjin is bullish when we've just capitulated from almost $5 down to 69 cents. Like, obviously you're going to see these times where you get bounces, you get bounces, you get bounces, you get bounces. What do you notice with these bounces? They're all lower highs, every single one of them. And at this moment in time, you zoom in, even if we come over to the micro time frame, this was the most recent bounce. You can see a lot of these are 1 or 2 day bounces that do not get continuation, and then they just kind of fizzle out. This was a 3-day bounce that did not get continuation, and once again we're currently seeing a 1-day bounce, which, bear in mind, is lower than the bounce that we saw yesterday, lower than the price than the day before that, lower than the day before that, and lower than the day before that, and obviously lower than the day before that. So nothing's really changed on Enjin coin. I still think, and I still definitely advise caution with trading the altcoins. On the daily, let's look at the weekly volume first. Weekly volume, bears are still massively in control. It's very hard to see because we're really not seeing like crazy amounts of volume, but it does look like, you draw a line of best fit, the volume is still exponentially growing. This week we've got 61 million worth of volume traded. The last week it was 72. So if we do get another 12, specifically 13 million more volume traded by tomorrow, then this will be a candle that rivals and is slightly bigger than the one before. So bear in mind, volume predicts price. The volume is still exponentially increasing in the favor of the bears. We've capitulated below these wicks recently. We've also capitulated below your 786. So macro time frame, nothing's changed. You're still bearish. The only thing we can really hope for at this moment in time, and I do hope this happens, I do hope the altcoins start to break out. It's getting very boring just kind of saying for the past couple of weeks or so, the trend is your friend until the end. We're clearly in a downtrend. Don't try to catch the falling knife. I'd much rather be giving breakout trades, because believe me, I would love to make some breakout trades at this moment in time. The only problem is we're not seeing any breakouts. And what you've seen before is a lot of the time we have your head pokes above the top of this, you come back for the back test, you M out, or you just don't even do anything. I mean, we poked our head above here, we tried to poke our head in it, got rejected, poked our head in it, got rejected, poked our head in it, got rejected, poked our head on it, got rejected, poked our head in it and got rejected. So this is very much a pattern. It's not like we can't trend up to the top of these EMA ribbons. It's not even like we can't break back bullish out of them for just a couple of hours or so, but nothing has really changed. We're holding the 0.5, so micro market structure is still technically bullish. Let's see if we're getting stuck anywhere. Your 0.5 is going to be an area of resistance in the short term. From candle body close, 618 has been a perfect area of resistance, getting rejected at every time. As you broke down, you can see most of the candle body closes are below the 0.5, and at the moment we've just got rejected from 69 cent, which was that your 382? Yeah, your 382. So we've got a long way to go is what I'm trying to say. Don't try to catch a falling knife on this. Like I've been saying, I know this indirectly affects what goes on with Enjin coin. I always pull up the Bitcoin charts when I do my altcoin analysis. I think it's very important to know that when you do look at Enjin coin, if you are expecting this to break out bullish, you should also be expecting Bitcoin to break out bullish. So you should definitely check out the two charts. At this moment in time, Bitcoin's still below your 4-hourly EMAs. The Bitcoin dominance is breaking out on the weekly time frame. On the daily, we literally have just retested the breakout target. So be very, very cautious. If the Bitcoin dominance starts breaking out at this moment in time, I'm telling you, altcoins are going to get slaughtered. Why do I know this? Because I was here for the 2018 bear market. I'm telling you, the Bitcoin dominance breaks out. The market cap has more of a Bitcoin allocation to it than the altcoins. What does that mean? Money flows out the altcoins, money flows into Bitcoin, but money flows out of the markets in general. You know, just because Bitcoin dominance goes up, it normally means the price goes down, but it means that the price of the altcoins go down more. For example, when the Bitcoin dominance was breaking up here in 2018, this was the bear market. Breaking out of this was the bear market. Bitcoin dominance went up because everyone was selling their altcoins for Bitcoin, but people were also selling their Bitcoin. That just simply means altcoins are probably due to get absolutely slaughtered against their Bitcoin pairs. Quickly checking out Enjin against BTC. I would just like to highlight weekly time frame. Really nothing has changed whatsoever. I don't want to spend a plethora of time looking on this chart, but you can really see we're literally on the last legs. We're at the 786 right now. We have a big decision to make coming into next week, in my opinion. Are we going to break down from this and have the 53% capitulation I've been talking about against the Bitcoin pair, or are we finally going to bounce on the 786 and we're going to break out? I don't think we are. I think this holding the 786 and breaking up would be reminiscent that we've just had a minor bear market and we're going to break up. And I unfortunately think Bitcoin has lower price targets to go before we break bullish. So daily time frame, you know, we're up 1.6%. In the grand scheme of things, we're still below your EMA ribbons, and we really do not have the buying volume at this moment in time to kind of, you know, propel us further. Also, you can potentially see there could be something like, I've drew that horribly, there could potentially be something like an inverse head and shoulders playing out, but like I said, be very, very cautious on trading these right now, especially until you at least jump above the 4-hourly EMA ribbons. And once again, I think we zoom out, these are the lows as well. So this orange line rather is super, super important to break out of. One more thing, you know, I think we already talked about this, but in the short term, you know, you are holding your 0.5 Fibonacci, so that is good in the short term. You can also argue we could be Wing out, but your neckline really conveniently lines up with this potential rejection point of the lows. So I'm going to mark this box red. I think it's absolutely imperative that we not only get above the previous lows, which are coming in at 75 cents, but we also get above the top of this red box, which would also mean that you're having this confirmed W breakout. We would need to get above 78 cents approximately. Once you start seeing a big push above 78 cents, like I said, you've also got to contend with 84 cents. You've also got to contend with round about $1.13, and you've also got to contend with this trend line round about, you know, $1.98 that we have recently broken down from. So I think there's a plethora of regions where Enjin coin could be getting rejected from. In my opinion, the risk to reward ratio on this Enjin trade would just not be worth it for me. So I wouldn't be taking the breakout trade. Like I've been saying, I find it much more likely that Bitcoin is unfortunately going to capitulate than it's going to break up. So I think we're going down before we go up on Bitcoin. That means for Enjin, I also think we're going to go down, but not only down against the US dollar, I think we're going to go down against Bitcoin. So keep that in mind. That's all I've got for Enjin coin. Not making a trade at this moment in time. I look forward to updating you when I do have some more bullish sentiment, or when I do see a breakout trade over on Enjin coin. That's all I've got. Always do your own research. As always, cowboy out, not financial advice. Peace.